So hello, my colleagues, and I hope everyone is well. And I wanted to share this with you because I don't know if you people trade, but Microsoft, which is on NASDAQ, National Association of Security Dealers, Automated Quotations, could be a buy for its upcoming dividend. Microsoft Corporation is about to trade ex-dividend in the next 4 days. Ex-dividend means that investors that purchase the stock on or after the 17th of February will not receive this dividend, which will be paid on the 11th of March. Microsoft's next dividend payment will be, this is the quarterly dividend, 56 cents a share. Last year in total, the company distributed $2.24 to shareholders. That's 4 times this, right? You should do the math, right? This is the annual. This is the quarterly. Calculating the last year's worth of payments shows that Microsoft has a trailing yield of 0.9%. That's the dividend percentage on the current share price of $244.49. Dividends are a major contributor to investment returns for long-term holders, which I am, okay? I own Microsoft, but only if the dividend continues to be paid. That's why we should always check whether the dividend payments appear sustainable and if the company is growing. And I believe, in my case, I think that's true for Microsoft. Okay. Um, Dividends are, and this is a good education. That's why I'm going through this. Dividends are usually paid out of company profits. So if a company pays out more than it earned, then its dividend is usually at greater risk of being cut. Microsoft paid out a comfortable 32% of its profits last year, yet cash flow is typically, again, now here's the statement of cash flows, right? Cash flow is typically more important than profit for assessing dividend sustainability, so we should always check if the company generated enough cash to afford its dividend. Thankfully, its dividend payments took up just 31% of the free cash flow it generated, which is a comfortable payout ratio. And this is current. This is not a game, by the way. This is from February 12th. Okay, so I wanted you to know that. It's positive to see that Microsoft's dividend is covered by both profits and cash flow, since this is generally a sign that the dividend is sustainable. Okay. So here's the 3 ratios. Here's the 3 graphs. Here's the dividend yield. Now they've been lowering their dividend yield over time. Okay, and that's only because the price has been going up. And this is the dividend per share. Okay, the blue, and here's the earnings per share. So you can see the dividends per share and the earnings per share have gone up. I don't want to click on this. Businesses with strong prospects usually make the best dividend payers because it's easier to grow dividends when earnings per share are improving. If earnings fall far enough, the company could be forced to cut its dividend. That's why it's comforting to see Microsoft's earnings have been skyrocketing, up 35% per year for the past 5 years. Earnings per share have been growing very quickly, and the company is paying out a relatively low percentage of its profits and cash flow. This is a very favorable combination that can often lead to the dividend multiplying over the long term if earnings grow and the company pays out a higher percentage of its earnings. The main way most investors will assess a company's dividend prospect is by checking the historical rate of dividend growth. In the last 10 years, Microsoft has lifted its dividend by approximately 16% a year on average, and that is great. I did very well with Microsoft. Both per share earnings and dividends have been both growing rapidly in recent times. Has Microsoft got what it takes to maintain its dividend payments? We love that Microsoft is growing earnings per share while simultaneously paying out a low percentage of both its earnings and cash flow. These characteristics suggest the company is reinvesting in growing its business, while the conservative payout ratio also implies a reduced risk of the dividend being cut in the future. It's a promising combination that should mark this company as worthy of closer attention. Okay, so anyway, and then they go to help with this. We've discovered 2 warning signs. Okay, so anyway, You should read this and let me. Here is the link. Okay, here is the link, and you could freeze on this and get that link. All right. Alrighty, I wanted you to see this because it's kind of relevant to what we're doing or going to be doing.